Right, so what I need to do now is try and collect up all the electrics and the wiring looms and see if I can get the bike started. I am going to just plug everything back the way it was. I'm not making any changes to the wiring loom now until it starts and runs. Then at least I know the ignition and the ECU and all of that sort of stuff works, and then I can worry about the less important wiring loom changes and connecting up the new module that I've got. One last thing I haven't done is the coolant. I don't have any distilled water, so I need to get some distilled water. And then I will fill the radiator. Also, on this side over here, I need to think about what I'm going to do with the reservoir overflow tank. I don't like the old one because it sits over here, and so it fills up this empty space. I ordered one, just an automotive one that I thought was quite nice, that would fit. It comes with a tube and all the brackets. It's too big. I kind of need one that's half the size of this, like the size of a Coke can or a bottle of deodorant, because I actually, although I just want to get all this wiring out of the way, there's a void here and there's two brackets over there where it could fit very nicely and neatly in there. Okay, and then it's a very short tube. So I can't use this. I've tried to see if I can sort of bury it in there, and it's just too big and too bulky. It's a nice idea. It wasn't expensive. Apparently it's got a relief thing built into the cap. So I am going to possibly fabricate my own one. It's a low pressure system. I thought it had to be seriously robust, and it's actually a low pressure system. The original coolant thing is like plastic box and a rubber top. So honestly, I could use a water bottle and be done with it. And I believe some people actually do that. But I want something to look a little bit better. So I might make my own one. I was thinking of taking PVC, sanding it and spraying it black, or getting black PVC, or those rural hoses that I've used before, like for my water pump. And you get those blanking end caps, and then constructing it that way and just drilling holes and feeding in the tube and sort of... I might do that temporarily until I get a better solution. Just to get a quick answer. I don't really need it to start, but I do want to make sure I understand the fit. So I'm going to make up something that'll be quite interesting. So just to show you what I'm doing, I've plugged in this jobby. This is the injector controller. It's plugged in and it goes all the way to the coils. So it's from the coils, and I'm just putting it on top of the wheel for now until I figure it out. It may go under the seat, I'm not sure, but I just want it out of the way. I've then just popped the fuse box in, or this box. Literally, it's loose, and I just put the rubber grommets back on and dropped it in, just so it's in a place where I can now start to play with moving things around. It's not going to stay there, obviously, but it's correctly located for me to start plugging things back in. The only other thing that I've plugged in is this, which is the ECU, the ignition ECU, I think, and it goes up over there. I'm not sure that I'm going to put it there. I might just leave it hanging loose. I really just want to get the bike to turn over and to start. So we'll go from there. On the seat, so I ground off the two tabs that I need on the frame. Can you believe it? I got the wrong two. They sit over here and here, and they support the fuel tank, and they raise the fuel tank up a little bit. I chopped them off thinking they weren't needed anymore, and then that's why I realized it didn't quite look right when I put the seat down. So I just put two punch holes straight through of exactly where they need to be. I can either use banjo clamps, or I can actually drill a hole through the top and the bottom, and attach a little bushing to give me the same effect. Or I can attach it a different way. I can attach it to these things over here and maybe put a piece of rubber that's raised. I'm not sure how to deal with that problem just at the moment. There's different ways. I am worried about, you see where I've put the punch hole and it looks like it's rusting underneath already. I am a little bit worried about drilling through this because it's quite a high stress area and it will weaken the tube. So got to give that some thought. Anyway, this should be fun. Let's see if we can connect up as much as possible and remember where everything goes. Wish me luck. Okay, this is the drive shaft sensor. I don't think I need it to start the bike, but just in case the ECU stops you from doing something, I'm going to hook it up. I'm not going to screw it in properly, just leave it like that. There we go. Now I've dropped the screw. So that one's in. One down, 500 to go. Okay, so I'm working off the same, I'm going to go sort of like leg by leg. This one is the rear lights. We don't need the rear lights to start the bike. So I'm just going to thread them through to the back and leave them hanging loose. Okay, what is this? This is the brake cable. So we don't need that to start the bike. So I'm just going to leave that hanging as well. And then there is one last one over here, which is called number 27. Okay, this was the mystery one that we don't think was connected to anything, but I need to just do a quick check because I'll check the wiring loom on the manual and see if 27 needs to go to anything. Okay, so I can't determine if that connects to anything. We'll just leave it. Then the next one is this one. This didn't connect to anything either, otherwise we would have labeled it. So I'm not sure if that's like an ABS sensor or something that I don't have. Anyway, it sits empty. This is the next one we'll tackle. It's got a couple on it. So this is the brakes front. Not sure, unlabeled, therefore unused. And then this was the ignition key. So this is to start the bike. I will actually plug that back in because it's just easier just to do that. So let me do that quickly. Okay, so ignition switch is there. The problem is I don't know where the key is. I seem to have lost the key somewhere, I think. I might have to turn the garage and the shed upside down to find it. So worst case scenario is I can just, you know, touch 2 points and it should turn on. We will have to see. I'll go look for it. Just leave it there for now. Ta-da! I found the key. So on, off. So we'll keep that. Good. Okay, I've split them into branches and I'm just summarizing. So branch 1 we've done. Drive shaft sensor, yes. Rear lights, no. Number 27 we don't know. Brake sensor, no. Branch 2 is the ignition, done. It also has the brakes. Right front it looks like, so that's no. Branch 3 is the right handlebar. Branch 4 is the left handlebar. So no and no for now until I know better. And then branch 5, this one, is the coils. So coils 1 and 4 and coils 2 and 3. So yes, this is a key piece that needs to go on. Let's do that. Okay, that's 1 and 4, that's 2 and 3. So that should be fairly straightforward if I follow that pattern. Good. Okay, done. Basically the brown ones go to the middle. The red and blue ones come to the back, and the green and yellow ones, the red and blue ones are on the front, there and there, and the green and yellow ones are at the back. That's how I understand it. So they are all on, done. Okay, back to it. So we've done the coils. We now keep going down and we come to these 3. Both of them are labeled unattached. So hopefully Daryl got that right. Unattached, unattached, and this one is number 23. Lovely. We have no idea. We've got number 27 and number 23 as random numbers, just to remind us. So if there's a 23 somewhere else, it'll connect to that. But otherwise, those 3 remain unattached. Let's keep going. This one says electric choke. Okay, so I do have an electric choke cable on the other side. I don't know that we need it, but let's put it on. I'll just thread it through. Not sure what it does. So this says electric choke. So we put those 2 together. Okay, let me get this out of the way. Okay, whatever the choke sensor indicator, who knows what it is, it's back on. All right, so let's keep going. Okay, then the next ones that come off says clutch handlebar. I'm going to go with no. And then this is ground, which I'm going to go with yes. And then this one is hazards. So I'm going to go with no on that. And that takes us to there. Then we have this and the last few, and then we're done. So we're nearly there. All right, so this is the radiator fan. So the cable is somewhere there. Okay, I'll just temporarily plug them together. Okay, radiator connected. We have to do the grounds still, so I'll get to that. Then, so this is the left headlamp, don't need. Right headlamp, sorry, fuel pump sender, we do need that, but I can't do that until the fuel pump is on. Sorry, until the fuel tank is on. So I'll keep that there. And then the last one of any significance is the cluster. So I want to connect this temporarily so I can actually just see lights come on. So I'm gonna get the old instrument cluster, put these on, and then from what I can tell, we are basically done. So there's one, there's the other. They are both in and seated. So maybe I'll just put it there. Right, so just grounds left from what I can tell. Okay, it's my last opportunity to take the Harley out for a spin before I go away for a couple of weeks on holiday. Ooh, that was close. Ooh, ooh, Stuart. In fact, it's now touching. Wow, okay. I'll definitely have to have a look at that when I get back. I just touched the mirror there and pulled it down. Thought I had enough clearance. Anyway, here we go. Here's the Harley. My Sportster 1200 iron, and whilst I'm going to betray it and be riding a Softail and a low rider next year on a test ride, today it's all about it.